Hello everybody, my name is CMA Preeti Sitaraman, a faculty of Logic School of Management, and I am here to take on the topic cost of capital. Let us consider this example. A firm finances its business with 60% debt and 40% common equity, and there is no preferred stock. If the after-tax cost of debt is 6.8% and the cost of common equity is 12.4%, calculate the firm's weighted average cost of capital. So in the problem, the first column represents the component. The second column represents the cost of component. The third column represents the proportion of each component. And the fourth column represents the cost into its proportion or weight of the component. The first component is debt. So the after-tax cost of debt is 6.8%. Its weightage is 0.6. So cost into weightage is 4.08%. That is 6.8% into 0.6. The second component is equity. So the cost of common equity is 12.4%. Its weightage is 0.4. So cost into weightage is 4.96%. That is 12.4% into 0.4. The weighted average cost of capital is the summation of the cost into weightage of each capital component. Therefore, the weighted average cost of capital comes to 9.04%. Next, we'll see the cost of different components of capital. So the first one comes the cost of debt. So what is cost of debt? It is the interest rate demanded by the investors, and the interest rate is adjusted for taxes. Why this adjustment is made? Adjustment for tax is made because interest is a tax deductible expense. Therefore, the actual cost of interest to the company is less than the amount of interest expense. It is the least expensive source of finance because of the twin features. The first feature is tax deductibility of interest, and the second feature is the low inherent risk in bonds. We can calculate the cost of debt using the following formula. CD is equal to C into 1 minus T, where CD is after-tax cost of debt, C is equal to cost of debt before tax, and T is the marginal tax rate. We'll see how the change in tax rates will affect the cost of debt. A careful look at the formula will confirm that if the tax rate increases and the effective interest rate remains the same, the cost of debt will decrease. If there is a decrease in tax rate, then the cost of debt will increase. Now let us consider this example. The effective annual interest rate on Rhinos Corporation bonds is 5%. Tax rate is 35%, and you need to calculate the after-tax cost of debt. The interest rate of 5% is the market interest rate for bonds. The after-tax cost of debt formula is CD is equal to C into 1 minus T. Here C is equal to 5%, T is equal to 35%. By substituting in the formula, we get 0.05 into 1 minus 0.35, and that is equal to 0.0325 or 3.25%. So we have completed the cost of debt. Next, we are moving on to the cost of preferred stock. Now the preferred stock can be categorized into cost of existing preferred stock and cost of newly issued preferred stock. Before we proceed to the cost of existing preferred stock, we need to know about preferred dividends. So most of the preferred shares, they pay dividend as a percentage of face value or par value of the share. Preferred dividends are a distribution of income and not an expense, so they are not tax deductible. Therefore, the calculation of cost of preferred shares does not include adjustment for taxes. A preferred stock with par value of $50 pays 5% annual dividend. You need to calculate the annual dividend. So it is 5% of 50, that is equal to $2.50, and that is the annual dividend.